we have a new episode with Liz. I'm very happy to be here. Welcome at People from Ibiza. And this episode you will listen how Liz was invited. It's really a wonderful story to come to the island and how she met her love of her life and what she's doing, why she's doing what she is doing. And I'm really very happy to introduce you to this beautiful lady, Liz. Thank you very much for being People from Ibiza. And just tell me, Liz, who are you? And I think you have a very special story to tell. How did you come to the island? Mm-hmm. As we talk about the island, I think the island invited you. But first, tell a little bit who you are, Liz.
Absolutely, the island definitely invited me. My name is Liz. I am the Love Translator on Ibiza.
Beautiful name, Love Translator.
Yes.
We love that.
Yes, and the island invited me. It called me, actually. It was something I had never experienced before. And I was living on the mainland of 𝗘𝗃𝗲𝗏, near 𝗘𝗃𝗲𝗏, which is between Alicante and Valencia on the coast. And as I was landing one day, I saw Ibiza from the airplane and took a picture of it. I had never thought or dreamt of or even planned on coming to Ibiza because, as everyone believes, it's a party island, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Not exactly the scenario I wanted to go visit. And after I took that picture, something started happening in me. My entire body felt, every time I looked at the picture, I just felt something. And my friends came to visit, and I showed them the picture, and I said, "This is Ibiza, isn't it?" And they said, "Yeah." And the two of them were talking about what you can do here, and the hotels they had been to, and the concerts they had been to. And I was kind of in my own world, feeling that feeling of talking about Ibiza and looking at the picture again. And it just blurted out of me without even thinking about it. And I just said, I have to go there, and I have to go there very soon, and I have to go there alone, but I don't know why.
And you were totally open.
Totally open to it. It was a time when I just said, I'm going to just go completely by my intuition, let myself surrender to life, and allow my heart brain to guide me. And this was what popped up.
What an adventure.
Yeah, it was an adventure. And 2 days later, I was walking in nature with a friend near these beautiful waterfalls in the area, and I ran into 3 men who were there enjoying the nature as well, and their dog came to me, and we kind of came into contact. And they asked me, "Why do you speak Spanish?" I said, "Oh, well, I'm half Mexican." And the guys, I asked them where they were from, and one said, "I'm from Alicante," the other one, "I'm from Benidorm," and the other one said, "I live on Ibiza." And I said, "I was just telling my girlfriends 2 days ago, I have to go there, but I don't even know why." And he said, "Well, I can offer you a room. I rent out rooms." And and that's how we got into contact, and the rest is history. I made my way to Ibiza by ferry, and the moment the ferry started arriving into Ibiza, or close to Ibiza, I felt something happening, that same feeling I had when I took the picture, but it was so strong, it was so immense inside of me. I felt like I was pouring out light out of my entire body. I was just standing on the ferry looking outside in the water, and everything, even the water, I felt high, but I wasn't. I had never been high before, so I didn't know what that even felt like, but if I would describe high, that's what it felt like. The water, everything felt magical, everything that's happening, and I felt at that moment, I'm in the right place. I'm supposed to be here. I still don't know why, but I know I'm supposed to be here.
And you were listening to it. That's the most important thing, of course. Yeah. You listen to your body and your feeling, but this is really a wonderful feeling, this magical feeling. You are living here for how long now, Liz?
Now 1.5 years.
Wow, you still have this feeling every day?
Yes, every day.
What is this feeling, this magical feeling, doing in your life as a person? What do you, because you feel it every day, but what is it? So the island gave you the light energy, as you explained, something from inner side. Yeah. No, it's very difficult to express it in words.
It is. It's something out of this world. I can't describe it. If you had told me about it, I wouldn't believe you. But just experiencing it myself, it's just a knowing, and it's a feminine island, and I can feel her power. I can feel her power inside, her welcoming, her telling me, I'm going to teach you so many things. And you are going to, what I teach you, you're going to contribute.
Because you receive.
Yes.
And you give.
Yes, yes. So every day I am grateful to this island. I speak to her all the time.
I'm so happy to hear, because now I'm not the only one who's doing that. It's amazing.
She communicates with us. I can't describe it. Yeah, I mean, no school can teach you this. It's really, the school of life is here with her.
I was very young. I had this experience, and now you're telling this, and I was only 18 years old when I was here for the first time, and I was not on this path of spirituality or whatever, or consciousness. I was just surviving at that age, and you telling the same. So I'm very happy with this, that there's something, the island invite people.
Yes.
And if you are listening to it, it gives miracles.
Yes.
And what is the biggest miracle? What is happening in your life? This with this light Ibiza, mother, female energy on this island. What did you discover? Why are you here? Why did the island invite you?
Many reasons. First of all, to find myself. I was always in search of myself since I was, since I was born. Since I can remember talking and learning about life, and coming from a very toxic household, I was always in search of something. And I found many things along my path, and Ibiza has just fulfilled the most immense part of it.
Was it also time to be me time, to discover yourself on a new level, and to release your toxic family? Was it also this work here?
Yes, part of it. I think coming here has actually, she invited me here to come alone. I kept saying she wants me to come alone. All my friends wanted to join me, and I said, no, I have to go alone. I had never, since I was married, I had never tried this going on a trip alone, and I just had to go alone. And I wasn't afraid. And getting here, yes, she has actually helped me. I say she to the island of Ibiza, has helped me heal, meet the right people, the right souls, hear the right words.
Isn't it magic?
Feel the right energies to heal the last bits and pieces. I don't know if they're the last bits and pieces, but some of the greatest pieces that I had not been able to completely heal on my own. And I always felt like, living in Germany for so many years, I could not meet anyone that felt the way I did, or that shared their pain. Or I always thought I was different. Ever since I was a child, I thought I was different to the whole world. And I wanted to manifest a place where I would meet people who are like-minded, and felt what I felt. And I came here, and I immediately met one person after the other who could actually resonate with what I feel and what I believe and what I think. And
that's spectacular. That's so wonderful, and so surprising that you meet the right person on the right place.
Yeah.
If the island forces you to a place and to meet somebody, and that's a mirror, or to create something together.
Yes.
Like you met this guy who invited you in a room.
Yes.
And then your life started 1.5 years ago.
Yes, it started to change. I was ready for this new chapter, and this island has also given me the gift of surrendering completely into love with my partner.
Oh.
Yes, which I was not expecting.
So you met your partner already 1.5 year ago when you arriving the island, and
Well, I came to the island in September, 1.5 years ago in September, and I came back again. Through all the people who I met, they invited me to come back again. And I came back again, and before I came back, though, I'm always teaching people how to manifest their partners, and a girlfriend told me,
so it's your work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's part of my work. And she taught me, she said, Liz, you always teach us to manifest our partners, now it's your turn. And I sat at the beach and I thought, you know, I've always wanted to fall in love like everybody talks about. I've never really fallen in love and surrendered completely as a feminine. And this is at the top of my manifestation list. I said to the universe, you know, I'm so happy alone, but if I find, if there is someone in this planet who fits perfectly to me, who is also growing and who I can surrender to and really fall in love with, I want to experience that in this lifetime. And if I don't care when, it could be now, it could be in 25 years, it could be right before I die, but if it exists, I want to experience it in this lifetime. And then I came to the island, and immediately we met. Yeah, and his words, we were doing a practice together where he had to blindfold me, and I had to trust him in a dance that he would not drop me or let me fall off the stage. And it was a little exercise I was doing in a class I was taking to learn how to trust. And he whispered in my ears, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Then why don't you surrender?" And that was at the top of my list, to learn how to surrender. And it just, his words went through my entire body, and it was as if Ibiza was telling me, "I got you. You got what you wanted."
You were ready for it, to open your heart.
Yeah.
And it was time to open your heart.
Exactly. And it's been that way every day since.
What changes your life when you opened your heart to this new relationship?
Everything.
Because before you were surrendering in life, if I listen to you,
I was completely surrendered to intuition.
you were very
to
good
life.
to surrender, but you were also good to guide other people.
Yes.
In personal life, in relationship, in business, to communicate, and now it's your time.
Yes.
So you even become better.
Yes. But it took a lot of experience to get there, and the universe knows when you're ready for certain things. And it's beautiful being the love translator, to be in love and to experience this amazing love that we have is life-changing.
And can you say something? It's manifest deeper love in yourself, so you can love the other person as well. How does it work, Liz? Because you are the expert.
Yes. So the reason I'm called the love translator is because I like to translate the things that we already carry within us that we don't know how to use, so that people understand themselves. And if you can fall in love with yourself, really love yourself and get to know yourself and heal, you are ready to give that to someone else.
And what is heal? To heal yourself, how can you explain that?
Yeah.
And how can people love themselves?
Yeah, that's a big question. Everybody's in the search of self-love, and it's a very marketed word now. But the true meaning of self-love is really going deeper than that. And we all carry wounds within us. Even if we say we had the perfect childhood, we still carry certain traumas that we're probably not even aware of. And when we enter a relationship, your partner will always trigger those wounds.
They show you. Hello.
Yes, exactly. And those are gifts, actually. So often people are lost in these triggers and saying, "I'm so unhappy, life is terrible, I don't know what to do." But in reality, these are gifts. And I teach people to see these gifts and see and interpret, what are these gifts trying to tell me about myself? And then they are able to go deep within, and I guide them there to go deep within and to find where is this coming from and what needs to be processed.
Yes.
And once this is processed, then they are, or even if they're not even in a relationship, or if they are in a relationship already, it works both ways. Once they learn this part of themselves, they will react differently to these triggers.
Yes.
And it doesn't become a trigger anymore. It becomes a mirror where they say, it's a moment for me to get to know myself better.
And it's about me, it's about
give
myself,
self-love.
it's my mirror.
Yes.
I have to take responsible.
Yes. My process.
Yeah, my process
Yes.
to look at this. This is really wonderful for many relationships, but it's as well as you said, even when you are alone.
Yes.
And what I figure out as well, many people are alone in a relationship. And I think that's even more alone than you are really physical alone.
Yes, absolutely. And when both partners, if you are in a relationship, I do relationship mediation, so I help people learn how to communicate better, and I guide them in communication. And when both partners do this, work on themselves, it's like they fall in love again. It's like a new love. It's a deeper love. It's a deeper connection, and they understand each other better because they understand themselves better.
Yes.
And
But it's great that they meet you, that they have the courage to look at themselves.
Yeah.
But the many people, they are afraid
Yes.
to look in the mirror. But
Yes.
the mirror is you.
Yes. Yes.
The other is you.
Yeah.
And if it's in a relationship or just, at the street or in a
Mhm.
shop,
Mhm.
the other is you.
Yeah.
And every person says
Absolutely.
something about you.
Yeah, and some people just, because of this fear, they just need a guiding hand, or because they don't know how to get there, they just need that guiding hand, and I provide that guiding hand to show them what they cannot see or understand.
Because you can do this very well, because you have gone through several levels in your life. It was not always easy.
No, no.
With this, where you come from, and you're a very young mother as well.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have 3 beautiful sons, and I
Yeah.
started at 18.
Yes.
Yes.
The first child you had at 18.
Yes.
Oh, that's quite young. Yes.
Yes, quite young. Yes, yes.
How was that? A young mom.
Yeah.
So you're still
scary.
a young mom.
Yes. Yeah, but I was very mature at a very young age. So because I have come from a very toxic family, you grow up as quickly as
Is
possible.
it really toxic, Liz? If
Toxic?
if I'm really listening to you, it's you also say it's a gift. It's a
It's
present.
a gift. Of course, at the time for me as a child, it was suffering. It's
Yes.
seen as suffering, and you're trying to find ways to cope with it and to survive. And of course, now, now that I've gone through the triggers and the mirrors and understood them and actually have embraced them as gifts, now I know the truth, that this was part of getting me to where I am and to be able to help others where they are. And but at the time, you don't know these things.
No.
And you go through a lot of immense suffering to get out of there.
There's no recipe
No.
who says
No.
do this, do this. No, you
No.
really have to find out by yourself.
Yeah.
That's why you're so strong.
Yeah.
And just listening to your body, listening to the inner space who says, come to Ibiza.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I'm very grateful for the suffering I had, because now I'm able to help those who are in immense suffering or even light suffering. It doesn't matter. There's no suffering that cannot be healed.
No.
And that's something I know for sure. And I know that the suffering has a purpose, and that is part of your purpose.
What kind of purpose does it have, in your opinion, in your way of seeing the human being?
I think everyone is put on a path to get signs, to see who they truly are, and to see deeper than the surface.
What kind of signs is that, Liz?
All kinds of signs can be, these triggers are signs.
Yes.
These triggers, unhappiness, that pain body you carry within you is trying to tell you something. It's not there to destroy you. We can allow it to destroy us if we don't take action. But it's there to tell you something about yourself, to guide you into a new path.
So it's time for people to feel safe, to listen to the signs, to listen to their body, to listen to their emotions,
Yes.
to listen to the mirrors they have
Yes.
every
Yes.
moment
Yes.
in their life.
Yes, and to find guidance.
So
for this.
guidance.
Yeah, guidance is very important, because even for myself, I have a teacher. We all need teachers, because sometimes the teachers can help us see something that we don't see ourselves, because we are too blocked to see it. So I have a teacher who guides me, and I love guiding others, and I even guide other teachers. So yeah, what we resist persists. We have to
It's
remember
beautiful.
that. Yeah, what you resist persists. It's if you keep resisting it and putting it under the rug, it's just going to keep exploding in your life.
And getting more and more and
Yes.
bigger and bigger.
Yes, and since my passion is all about love and relationships and helping singles find their ideal partner, people cure these pain bodies that they carry with them, to understand them and to process them and to feel the best they can feel in life, and be free from these chains that
Yes.
they feel like they are chains, but they're not. They're gifts. And once they realize that, and once I guide them to see how to process this, and to see the work, this is my payoff, to see the work, how the person goes from suffering to embracing it, and to actually processing it and healing it,
Wonderful,
and
wonderful.
then changing their lives, just like I have.
Yeah, because you have this experience, so you
Yes.
can do it. It's not there suddenly.
Yeah.
You worked for it to
Yeah.
come there, and it's really funny how we met at the fireplace at this
Yes.
guy's place, which you invited to come to Ibiza because he
Yes.
had a room.
Yes.
It was a really wonderful
Yes.
evening,
Yes.
and I was invited by a Dutch lady, and I had no clue what I was doing there. And then you were there, and I was okay. This is a part of the evening. Okay, I thought we were going to the sauna and to the hot tub and just sharing at the fireplace. And then the magic really happens when you started to ask this inner child question, and all of us, the 12 beautiful women, discovered our inner child, and we had all of us had a beautiful experience by this campfire. And what was for me also very beautiful is that the two men were serving us. They made the fire. They were protecting us. So it was a perfect setting.
A safe space.
It was such a safe space between the rocks. It was really magic.
It was magic.
And now we're sitting here.
Yes.
So it was only 1.5 week ago.
Yes. And that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it was.
Because with such a large group, you really have to hold space for a person. And so I just did the tip of an iceberg there, but when I work one-on-one, it's incredible the magic that happens. And I think when you're given something, you should pass it on and share it. It's like a water fountain.
Yeah.
You have a fountain and you're given some water, pass it on to the other levels, wherever people are at in their life. And the ones who are ready, they will look for it and take it.
So you give
And
a
pass it
lot
on.
to the people. You give a lot to the island,
Yeah.
and you are already received a lot from the island.
As I said, I'm grateful every time. And every time I have a client that comes and does the work, and I see the way they leave after the sessions, I get on my knees every time once they leave, and I just thank the island, and I thank the universe, and I thank, my parents, the toxicity, everything. I'm grateful for it, for being able to do the work I do now.
It's beautiful
amazing.
that you had to go through
Yeah.
a tough story, a tough life, and now you can be so grateful, thankful for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I really appreciate everything. And I'm always surprised of the adventure of life, of all of the people, beautiful people it brings into your life. Once you open that space, magic happens, and it can happen not only on Ibiza, it can happen anywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
And that's what we should spread.
Yeah. What kind of advice you have as a love translator, a love giver, a love receiver as well?
Teaching to receive, yes, very important.
What did you recommend to the listeners who say, I want to love myself, I want to love my body, I want to love my life?
Yeah.
How do you start to love yourself, to love your life, to love everything around you? Because everything is you. If it's material, is it the other, is it Mother Earth? Everything is you.
And you are everything.
And you are everything.
Yes.
Oh, we have a beautiful song about this as well. How do you start to love yourself? Can you give the listeners one tip of the iceberg you said before?
I think that the first step is getting to know your inner child. You can do as many affirmations every day. You can try and think as positive as you want every day. You can do yoga, you can do all these things, but you have to go deeper first. And until you take that step to go deeper, affirmations won't get you far.
Yes, but how do you meet? Because I totally agree. Because I did affirmations for 20 years and I worked very hard with all kinds of therapies, but it was just, some tricks.
Yes.
It was not, after 20 years hard working with myself, I still had the same thoughts. I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful, I cannot create blah blah blah, because it was not mine, it was from my parents and my ancestors.
Exactly.
And I worked 20 years with these affirmations, and I can find out, no, it's really not working. And now you say the same.
Yes. Yeah, because we felt it, we've tried it.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Didn't work at all. No,
exactly.
And it get more frustrated because I was working very hard, with the mirrors and all, these papers in my house, and very hard working. And then I felt, no, it's not working, so I have to work harder to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe the listeners or one of the listeners or maybe some of the listeners are recognize this.
Yeah.
And yes, it's good what you do to find out if it's working, if it's not, but you need to have space in your body if you can receive this.
Absolutely.
And now you say you start with inner child work.
Yes.
And if the listener is alone or in the family, whatever, or in the car now, how can you connect with your inner child? How do you start with this?
Well, the first thing, as you mentioned, you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, something must be wrong with me. I've been there. The first thing is to realize that these voices that you're thinking, these thoughts, these are voices in your head that are not yours. Yeah, they are typically the caregiver that you grew up with.
First,
So
to
that's
recognize this is
recognize,
not
yes.
my voice, this is not my
Yes.
truth.
This is not my truth. Absolutely not your truth. This is your conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah, and then once you can, it's not easy, yeah, and that's why I say a guide is always really helpful in this case, depending on how loud those thoughts are and how persistent they are. And once you can divide those is to be able to contact your inner child. And your inner child is just a part of you that was from the womb of your mother until the age of 8, 9. And this is the child you're going to start talking to. You just start talking to her or him. And yeah, just start to connect with them. And a lot of times people with a lot of trauma cannot connect to this child.
No, they for survival system
Exactly.
they block
Yeah.
because they must do
Well,
that because
what
the pain
happens-
is too much.
Yeah, well, what happens is they block because of pain, or they treat that child the way they were treated.
Very hard
Very hard.
or very painful,
So they
very
don't know how
suffering.
to love the child.
Oh,
Because
yes.
they are, for example, I was treating my inner child, and I saw her the way my father saw me. Didn't see me at all. Didn't want to have anything to do with
So
me.
you didn't see
So I didn't
yourself.
I didn't
you
want to see her. She bothered me. I was like, I don't want to contact her. I don't even want to get close to her.
Oh, that's painful.
So there's no self-love. So how can I love in my relationships? How can I be the person I want to be in my relationships? How can I receive love? How can I give love? You just can't. And that's why I say the inner child is the place we start first.
Yes.
And if you find someone who has the proper guidance system to guide you there, that's the best way to go, because they can guide you to see what you don't see, you know? But connecting to the inner child is step number 1 for self-love, because that's where the self-love begins, and changing that blueprint
Yes.
of your conditioning and mothering or fathering your child, your inner child, to become the person you really want to become,
Yes.
and to let go of all of those thoughts that you have in your mind about yourself.
So one way, Liz, you are not this thought, it's conditioning. One way, so the suffering of your parents, you are not this suffering.
Exactly.
Do I translate it well?
The suffering of your parents, you mean?
Yeah.
What they have suffered.
Yeah, because it's a pattern.
It's a
like
pattern.
your
Yes.
father
Yes.
treated you, you do
Yes.
by yourself.
Exactly.
So his suffering becomes your suffering and
Exactly.
becomes the suffering of your
They
child.
pass it on to you because it's too
Every
heavy.
time we do the same, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, it's too heavy for them to carry. So unconsciously, they give it on to their children. They pass it on, and maybe one of the children gets the bigger load more than the other children.
Yes.
And in this case, we have other techniques to use besides inner child work to be able to heal the patterns and the chains that connect us to our family line, which is called systematic family constellations.
Yes.
So I work with
I'm
this
very
as well.
happy this
Yes.
become very
Yes.
popular now.
Yes, it's
all
so
around the
important.
world, and it's very important to recognize this and yeah, that you know that you are your family every moment. What the family didn't solve, it's in your body, it's in
Yes.
your cells,
It's in
and
your
we have
system.
we have the honor now to look at this. And yeah, I'm very happy, Liz, that you say that so important is inner child, and that you give this acknowledgement, this love. Even if you don't know how to love, maybe buy a beer or a doll and just hold it like a little baby. I did this for many years, and sometimes still I'm doing that. You know, my children, they gave me a beer with a T-shirt with a photo of us, of the family, and
How
you know,
sweet.
yeah, because I was traveling around the Netherlands to teach, and you know, I was a lot from home, and so they gave that to me. So, Mom, we are always with you, because it was not very easy to away from them, because I wanted to stay home. But anyway, so every evening I hold my bear. They were together, but when I was holding this bear, I was also holding my inner child.
Yes, yeah. And that's
And
a great
what I
first step.
noticed, Liz, is through the period of my children, like a baby, when they were little, and when they're growing, I was thinking and I was feeling, I'm going through this process when I was this age. And it's really magical thing that I could repeat my childhood 2 times, because I have 2 children.
Yes.
And it was not always easy to see myself in the mirror through my children. But this is also inner child work.
Yes.
But you don't know, you're not aware of it.
Yeah, because parents now raise their children differently than our parents raised us. And they have a different type of there's a more connection oftentimes, and there's different ways, different rules, and you can change that for your children. So you can see what you actually do carry in you and what you actually need. Often you give it to your children, what you needed so desperately.
Yes.
Just that when the partnership, it's difficult to give that. You can give it as a mother to your children, but to your partner, that's a lot more difficult. And a lot of people don't realize that part.
First, I listen to you very well. Love yourself.
Yes. Number 1 is love yourself. Absolutely.
Take the responsibility
Yes.
of the mirror you see in your partner.
Yes, because your relationships will always have the same quality of love and connection as you have with yourself. So you can measure it with yourself, then you know exactly where the issues are with your relationship.
I'm so happy we talk to each other with this inner child work. I'm sure we will talk again, because I think this is so important, what you give now through this talk, and what you give to the people, to guide the people. Of course, we will put the link in the bio of your work and what you're doing. But not everybody can come to this island.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Because they can also work with me virtually.
Yes.
So we can spread the love all over the world.
Yeah, that will be wonderful. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
To meet
Thank you
you,
so much.
and I want to invite you for another talk to talk more about this inner child work.
I would love that.
Yes, and also with these young mothers, they become mother. What's happening with this motherhood? So maybe inner child motherhood talk.
Yes.
I would be very, very honored to have you again in our podcast. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I would be honored to join.
Yeah, I'm happy. So thank you very much for listening to this podcast, People from Ibiza. And if you want to listen more of this amazing, beautiful people from this island, please feel free to give a donation. And you see that in the link in the bio, and of course share it with your friends and family. But maybe first, to digest this lovely, beautiful and important information, just Liz gave to you and gave to me and to everybody. So thank you very much for listening, and have a beautiful day, and love your inner child, and just embrace everything what you need in your life. So thank you very much. I'm very touched.
Thank you too.